Hello YouTube, this is the Stupendous Wave, and today we are doing the very first fantasy battle for the Marvel Civil War fantasy battles of the team of Captain America versus Iron Man. So if you haven't seen the rosters for both teams, I definitely suggest that you check out the draft video. But just so you guys know, Drax is a part of Captain America's roster, and Loki was selected to be part of Iron Man's roster. So yes, just to reiterate what I said in that last video, this system is based on 7 categories, and it has a total of 70 points. And the categories are the character's durability, their strength, their agility, their intelligence, their weaponry, their fighting skills, and their X factor. So yes, the very first one ever is Drax versus Loki. So just to start off, I was not the only one that came up with the ratings for these characters, so I would not be biased. I took other people in and had them rate everyone, and I just rounded up all the numbers and all the scores. So yes, here we go. Let's start out with Drax. Drax's durability is an 8 out of 10. He's a very durable character. He can take a big beating. As we saw in Guardians of the Galaxy, he got thrown into that little bowl of that yellow liquid, and he seemed pretty fine, and he seemed to heal pretty fast. His strength, I'm giving him an 8. He's very strong. He's one of the stronger characters. He's not as strong as Groot or Hulk, but he's still really strong. For agility, I'm giving him a 7. Although he is kind of a larger character, he was surprisingly quick, and he can really use that to his advantage in this fight. For intelligence, I'm giving him a 3. He's not very smart. He knows how to fight, but that's about it. For weaponry, I'm giving him a 2. He only has 2 knives that he uses, so that's not really that great. For fighting skills, I'm giving him an 8. He's quite the good fighter, although there are better fighters than him out there. And for an X factor, I'm giving him a 5. He is very unpredictable when he gets angry, and his rage really can play a role in this, which is his X factor. So he gets a total score of 41 out of 70 points. So yeah, not bad. He's a pretty strong guy. So let's move on to Loki. For durability, I gave him an 8 as well, because he got smashed by the Hulk pretty good, and he seemed to not brush it off, but he was able to get up. For strength, I gave him a 6. He's not as strong as Drax, but he is a god. He is pretty strong. He's not as strong as his brother, and definitely not as strong as Hulk, but he's still fairly strong. For agility, I gave him a 7, same as Drax. He is quicker. I think he's a lot quicker than Thor is. Yeah, so he's pretty quick, I think. For intelligence, I give him a 9. Now, this intelligence isn't his book smarts or technical intelligence, but this is his magic and his cunning and his trickery, and that all kind of plays into his intelligence. He's a very smart character, so he gets a 9 out of 10 for intelligence. For weaponry, I gave him a 9 out of 10. That staff I'm using from the Avengers, very powerful staff. Might be a gem, might not be, but nonetheless it is extremely powerful. Not only as a stabbing and hitting weapon, but it also shoots blue projectiles, so that's pretty cool. For fighting skills, I gave him an 8. He was trained by Thanos, which is a big feat to be trained by Thanos, and to have Thanos' knowledge of fighting and vast knowledge of the universe even. For X Factor, I gave him a 7 just for his trickery. He's very manipulative, and he can form multiples of himself, and I think Drax would really have a hard time with that. So Loki gets a final score of 54 out of 70, which makes Loki the winner for this battle, which gives Iron Man's team a victory. So it is 1 0 for the Marvel Civil War fantasy battles, with Loki beating Drax 41 to 54. So next time we will be looking at Rocket Raccoon versus Ironmonger. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to see the draft and all the roster for these characters on who's on Captain America's team and who's on Iron Man's team, you can go ahead and watch the Fantasy Marvel Civil War draft. Thank you so much for watching. Leave in the comments out of these two who you think will win. Who do you think will win the next battle of Rocket versus Ironmonger? Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment, like, and subscribe.